Alright, we're doing this a little different. This one, we did not see her. These leggings are wild as March hair. She has 3 bumbles on one foot. She had 3 on this one. This one's ruptured, but we're gonna go ahead and take the cores out because it'll fill right back up until we get those cores. This one's bad. Our chickens are free range, okay? They're allowed to go where they want to go for the most part. And they go places they probably shouldn't. Tiny bit of FYI, the ones that stay in the coop all the time and never want to go anywhere, they don't get bumblefoot. So yeah, Wikipedia, get a clue. We start all of these things the same way. We wash the foot with food grade hydrogen peroxide and distilled water. The peroxide will actually soften that stuff up really quickly. It's a lot faster and just as sanitary as the warm water and Epsom salt. It works real good. Now the food grade peroxide is expensive. You have to keep it and you have to store it right. You'll need to do some research on that. This is by far the worst bumblefoot on any of our birds we found. This particular hen is very hard to get close to. She goes into the coop to lay and then she disappears back out into the bushes. We spotted her foot yesterday, and then today we went out and when we threw the grain down, we snuck up behind her while she had her head down and got her, and we are removing the infection. We try to stay a lot closer to on top of these than this. The leghorns, like she is, they're really good layers. There's no meat on them, but they lay at least 300 eggs a year. You know, each bird will. They always lay a large white egg. They're really good at avoiding predation for the most part because they are real alert and real flighty birds. You know, it's hard to sneak up on them. But bumblefoot is a bacterial infection caused by different types of bacteria entering a wound. The part of the world we live in, there are a lot of thorns. Almost every clover and weed that grows around us has some form of thorn. And, well, they step on it and they wind up with this. So you have to stay on top of it pretty good. I fast forward through a lot of this here in a little bit because I really do not enjoy doing this at all. It's a necessary part of being a homesteader with chickens, but whether the chicken responds to it or not, I know it hurts. And there is always blood. This one, like I say, is the worst. The pus is usually white. It's, you know, it's not usually this black tar looking stuff that was coming out of here. I actually wound up taking about, or ended up taking about, I don't know, a third of the pad off of her foot. By the time I got all the infection removed, it was just a massive amount of floppy skin, and that would have just made a pocket for the infection to go back into. I don't recommend letting your birds get this bad. So every once in a while, go out at night, take your chicken off the roost and look at her feet. Because if you can catch them when they're small, it's usually is a simple matter of you take the scab out of the middle, you squeeze it a little bit, there'll be a core, just like a pimple, that'll pop out. And you put a little peroxide in it and a dab of triple antibiotic ointment and wrap it with a gauze bandage and put a little piece of tape on it so it'll stay on there for a couple of days. And it heals up. The chicken doesn't even notice the bandage is there after a couple of minutes. This bird here, when we let her go, both of her feet were bandaged up and she ran off. Right back out into the trees. We were talking, the wind you can see in the shadow of the tree, the leaves were moving around pretty good. The sound got destroyed by the wind, so I'm having to try to voice over what's going on. Here in a little bit, you're going to see a large ribbon of the infection come out. And I show it to you, and I apologize for showing you all this mess. It's actually really gross. Wound up actually having to split the top of her foot because there's tendons in there and you can't cut through the tendons or dig around on them too hard. You don't want to injure the bird. And she had the Bumble had grown up between her toes, so I had to lance the top and push the infection out from the top. I will catch this bird and do an update on her so y'all can see that she made it and that she's walking fine. She'll always have a bigger pad on this foot than on the other one because it's it's one of the reactions that the bird has to the Bumble is they callus up around it, but we'll be able to tell if it's actually causing her any pain or whatever because they'll limp. You have to get the Bumbles out though because the bird will actually the bird will quit walking, it can't run, it can't get up on the roost. It affects their quality of life, and it if they can't run and jump and fly and climb in the trees, it makes them very susceptible to predation, and that's not something you want in your free-range birds. In the past 3 years, we have probably lost 150, 160 birds to predation. Foxes, coyotes, feral cats, they all enjoy the taste of chicken. We went and got a puppy and taught her that the chickens were very important to her, and she does a really good job of keeping the predators away. Here's that core that come out. And this is just one of them. I turned the deal off. We took five things like that out of her foot. It's just fingers of infection, or ribbons of infection that you have to get out to make it work, to make it heal up. Young, listen to some music from here on out. I'm tired of talking. Guys, this isn't educational or entertaining anymore. We're going to finish this book one more time. This is where I was telling you I had to lance the top of her foot to let that get that other chunk of infection out. This isn't any fun. feel bad that we didn't pay closer attention to the hen and get to it. You know, with the storm and work and everything though, we've been super busy. And after we get all the infection and everything out, all the dead skin, dead tissue, we use sterile gauze and triple antibiotic ointment. We put I wouldn't call it copious, but we put plenty of antibiotic ointment on the pad, cover the hole, and then wrap it with vet tape. The vet tape is ideal for this because it'll stay on there for a few days, but as a general rule, within 7 days it has come off. We don't have to chase the bird back down and remove it or anything like that. The the being out and about and running and digging in the dirt and fighting over the water bowl and stuff is usually enough to get it to turn loose on its own. Every once in a while we have to catch the bird and take it off, but not very often. You don't want to wrap it too tight. You just want it on there snug enough to hold the bandage in place. You don't want to cut the circulation off to the bird's foot. The circulation is important for the healing, for the comfort of the bird, and Again, I believe I said that we're doing this for the bird. Uh, we want our birds to be happy and healthy, so we do this. This one chicken, we'd done one before this. Our plan was to do about 5 or 6 of them. We did this one bird, well, one before this one and then this bird. As soon as we got through with this bird, we called it a day because it didn't take that long really, but well, it took 3 or 4 times longer than a normal bumblefoot would. But it'll wipe you out when you realize what you're having to do and everything. So anyway, we fixed this one up. Last I saw her, she was running around happily eating, enjoying her day. We'll give y'all an update on her later on. God bless. Y'all stay loud, don't die. Take care of your birds.